Part 4. In this part, we will just introduce what we mean by elasticity of demand. And then in part 5, we will look into elasticity of demand in detail and then see how business managers or managers of any other trade can use this concept of elasticity of demand in decision making. So let's get to the slide share. Now, we know that the law of demand simply states that if the price of a commodity increases in a particular period of time, we expect that its demand will fall. The reverse is also true. If the price of something increases, the price of something decreases, then over a period of time, we'll assume that its demand will slowly rise. This is a law. This is something that we expect all the time because it's a model. It's not what people actually do, but what we expect them to do. Now, having said so, I'm going to repeat this sentence 2 times. Different commodities respond differently to the same price change. Different commodities respond differently to the same price change. The first example, if the price of insulin injection for diabetic patients increases by say 5%, how do we expect its demand to respond? The demand can respond in 4 possible ways. The people might start demanding less than 5%. The fall in demand might be equal to 5%. The fall in demand might be equal to less than 5%. Or there may be no change in demand at all, even after the price change. So, okay, so what is the first case? Price has increased by 5%. Quantity demanded has fallen more than 5%. That means the demand is highly price responsive. Price has increased by 5%. Quantity demanded has fallen by more than 5%. Demand is highly price responsive. This is the concept of elasticity, as we'll see in the next part. The second possibility is price has increased by 5%, quantity demanded has fallen by 5%. That means whatever increase sellers might have expected from a price change is being offset totally by a decrease in demand by the same percentage. We'll look at this later in the next part. Another thing is price has increased by 5%, but quantity demanded responds by say 3%. So although price has increased by 5%, people in the market are responding to the price change, yes, by reducing their demand, but it is less than 5%. It's say 3%. This is the third possibility. We'll look into this again in the next part. The fourth possibility is there is no change in demand. Prices increased by 5%. People are still spending the same amount. Okay. This is the particular example that we made in context of insulin, because insulin, the demand for insulin is not related to its price. The demand for insulin is related to a person's health condition. So if the health condition is that the person is going to need 2 insulin injections per day, then even if the price increases by 5%, they will not decrease their consumption because it is not price responsive. When we talk about price elasticity of demand, we are looking at demand if it is responding to change in price. In this case, this is not responding to change in price in this particular example, and we will see its implications in the next part. Another example is if the price of a high-end mobile decreases by 5%, we will definitely expect that its quantity demanded will also increase, but it will increase by how much? Again, will it increase by exactly 5%? Will it increase by more than 5%? Will it increase by less than 5%? Or will it not increase at all? So if after a price decrease, consumers tend to buy more than they did percentage wise, this is positive effect on revenue of the firm. So if a business manager knows what elasticity of demand is, i.e., how responsive is demand to a change in price or some other factor, then that business manager can target or position the particular commodity. If the price decreases by 5% in the case of insulin injections, increases by 5%, sorry, and people are still going to buy the same amount of insulins because it is its demand is not related to the price but rather to your health condition, then total revenue of the firm will increase. Similarly, with a high-end mobile phone, if we expect that a 5% reduction in the price will lead to more than 5% in sales, then what happens? Total revenue will increase. This is a very powerful tool. This is a very powerful result that business managers use in their business decisions. So I'm stopping the share now. In the next part, we'll look at this elasticity of demand in more detail. See you then.